Tonight, 10 on Your Side is digging deeper into what went wrong in the case of Jamichael Mitchell.
And we have new details about his arrest from the family's only TV interview. Our Deanna LeBlanc has been investigating this case for weeks now. And Deanna, you found a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and Tom and Anita, first of all, this really is the first time Jamichael Mitchell's family has sat down for a TV interview to talk about what happened, and I learned so much from talking to them. I learned so much about who Jamichael was and why he was at that 7-Eleven, but I also found so many mistakes and missteps. It's really hard to wrap your head around how so much could go so wrong.
Portrait 911 dispatch Allen.
We have a male inmate that's non-responsive.
Is he breathing?
They doing chest compressions on him now.
I miss everything about him.
Jamichael Mitchell's older sister, Jasmine Adams, grew up feeling like his protector. Her brother battled bipolar disorder and schizophrenia all his life.
I feel like I should have been here, but we didn't know. We thought he was coming home this time. And he didn't.
A few days after his 24th birthday, Jamichael did what his family says he always did when he was off his meds. He visited the 7-Eleven up the street from his home.
He thought that Bill Gates was his father. He used to say, Bill Gates owned the 7-Eleven, that's my father, so I own everything in the 7-Eleven.
Jamichael's aunt, Roxanne Adams, says most of the time when police were called to the store, they brought him back home. This time they arrested him. We've also learned the officer could have taken Jamichael to Maryview Medical Center. A program there is specifically set up to treat nonviolent people in crisis in police custody.
This is not the first time he's been into this system. Why wasn't he given the proper help that he deserved to get?
The arresting officer claims Jamichael was, quote, not exhibiting signs of being in crisis. But 10 on Your Side has learned that officer was not trained in crisis intervention.
It doesn't seem to make sense because that was a perfect point of intervention and they lost it.
10 on Your Side obtained several of Jamichael's mental health evaluations conducted in jail. They all conclude he was not well. Yet a month went by before a judge ordered him to Eastern State Hospital for treatment. And that order, faxed from the court, somehow never made it to the hospital.
To think in 2016 that we're communicating via fax and that a fax can be misplaced, I mean, it blows my mind that that can happen in this day and age.
It's an antiquated system, and I wish I could say there was an easier technology system, but data sharing is really hard.
Meanwhile, Jamichael's aunt says she called the jail more than 30 times. She once worked as a nurse there and knows the system.
So you just constantly call and call, and if you're one of those pushy people, you usually get your family member moved quicker.
A state investigation revealed there was a second chance to save Jamichael. A second fax for his transfer was sent in July. And we know that one made it to the hospital. Still, it never got filed.
The admissions office had become overwhelmed and hadn't been putting court orders on. We have this admission wait list, essentially.
An overwhelmed hospital employee piled that July fax up in a desk drawer, along with the faxes of about 12 other people needing beds. 12 other people whose needs were ignored.
If you had to point blame for his death, where does it go?
You know, obviously, the whole system.
So the whole system failed him.
At many different points, yes.
You know, when you have these core functions that are supposed to be caring for the sickest and the most vulnerable, and not only do they not do that, but they kill him, you know, it's a horribly disempowering feeling.
But it's important to remember during all of those failures, this mentally ill man wasted away in a jail cell for 100 days. Tomorrow, we investigate allegations that the jail purposefully stopped giving him his medication and withheld his food. And you'll hear from a former inmate who says correction officers abused Jamichael Mitchell.